What's your story?
It's Terio, calling props in T, props with the right way, and this is my story.
Okay, so tell everybody, where you from?
We're from Kenner, man. From Kenner, Louisiana.
Okay,
Susan Park, Louisiana.
so we're gonna bring it back, like, like you growing up in Kenner. Like, tell us how it was for you, like growing up out there.
Growing up in Kenner, see a lot of people when they hear Kenner, they feel like, oh yeah, it's country and this and this that. Man, they got hoods, gangs, all that gangster, all that shit that people really like that they do in New Orleans. Let me say it. Like they doing, they got that everywhere. So I mean, I'm from a hood, but like I wasn't, I ain't no, I wasn't a nigga who was out there wanting to kill niggas and all that type of shit. Nah, I wasn't on that, but I was in the hood, so I grew up what I grew up around. Like I've been around the violence. I got shot before. A lot of people don't know that I got shot. So different little things that happened in my life like led to me to who I am now. Like I said.
Man, you just speaking on it, cause I remember, your partner told me if he actually got shot too before.
Yeah, he got shot. See, he got, and I was just thinking about this on my way here. See, we grew up kind of different, so in the midst of me getting shot, it was like the bullet was meant for me, and it was meant it like in the midst of him getting shot, the bullet wasn't meant for him. He was just around a nigga who was trying to kill him, and that just goes to show you like no matter where you come up from, how you come up from, shit can happen regardless. You know what I'm saying? So we two peas in a pod, and my dude, but she was here. Shout out to Mike.
Okay, so growing up in Kenner also, if you played basketball,
Yeah, I play
and so
ball.
but he always talk stuff like nobody can stick you and all that.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
so like when you was playing basketball for high school, and who did you play for? And like, and tell us, how far did you make it?
I played for East St. John. I played for East St. John. Um, coming up, played all them everybody know on this program like Ma, Reed. I done played against all of them, checked all of them in
And she
high
was killing
school.
them.
Man, listen. If you ask Reed, I locked Reed down in the CYO tournament at fucking Brother Martin. We probably had like 10 points on me, bro. And I always tell him, and at that point, that's locked down because that's only 6 free throws and 2 buckets. So nigga lock you down, brother. Like all the cool, but I fuck with him. I couldn't fuck with him right now though for sure.
You
I
just
couldn't
thinking
fuck
right
with him
now,
right now for sure, for sure. Bitch is nice.
right?
But
So,
yeah, bro, I balled. I was a captain my senior year on my team. My junior year, we got to the Final Four. Senior year, we got to the Elite Eight. So yeah, I did my shit.
okay. So
I did my shit.
bring it back. So what year did you actually become one? Promoter.
Um, Really? In high school. To be honest with you, I was throwing house parties and all that in high school. But like I said, before, I really got into the business of like promoting. I was doing like little link ups, kickbacks and shit like that. But I consider that as promoting, to be honest with you. But officially, Props Entertainment. This is a story that you don't know, D. That's why I say this gonna be exclusive. Props was made in 2013 by Mike, Tello, Bobby. That's my cousin, my brother. That's 2013. So it did what it did. They were just doing clothes and they did music. But in 2019, I'm coming up under them. I'm 27. They're a little older than me. They're like 4 or 5 years older than me. So I'm 27, and I come in 24, 23. This is going on our 4th year since 2019. So I come in at 23. I think I was making 23, and we did our first event. Mike came, got me. Mike, my cousin, so he came, got me like, bitch, I think this would be fire for you. Like, I see this shit. We could build off this shit. Cause I always was in the strip club, fuck with all the strippers, fuck with all the hosts. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with all the club
Still
owners.
do.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was all, you know what I'm saying? I was always outside. Like, I'm talking about outside since been. That's why a lot of people think from New Orleans, because I was always outside. You know what I'm saying? DJs, block parties, all that. I'm always outside. So, before, so he was like, let's get it. So, 2019, January 5th. That's our actual anniversary date, January 5th, 2019. We're doing our anniversary party. February 4th, the Empire, Mariah the Scientist, y'all pop out.
Man, if you gotta get that, if you gotta, I'm gonna get us that on the interview.
Yeah, man, look. See, we locked in with it, bro. We locked in, but yeah, that's how I started. To take that back, that's how I started. 2019, did our first event, and really and truly, we got into this shit not even thinking. So yeah, bro, we got into this shit like not really understanding what we was about to do with this. Like, we were just all right, let's do a party. You know what I'm saying? We did a party in Metairie, 3 students. We like, let's do a party. Let's do this party the next week. And at that time, we were really just promoting ourselves, putting ourselves on every flyer for the first year. Like, almost the first year of us doing events, we was putting ourselves on flyers, just getting flyers, popping out ticket pictures, putting ourselves on the flyer the next week. And it got to the point, it was like, all right, like we doing this, and they got these clubs calling us in our area that want us to come do events by them. So it was like, at that time, we didn't really understand what we was doing. We was still doing parties. We went over to other levels. We was doing events in Kenner. We was doing every Friday, rocking that bitch out every Friday, packing the building out every Friday. Then it got to every Tuesday. Then we got to doing these big events. Then we got to booking people. Then we like, all right, cool, we on to something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we on to something. So when we get to doing these events, booking people, we about to hit 1 year. So our anniversary come 1 year. We do Nino Calvin. We from Kenner. We know we got a big wave in Kenner. So we do a party at Bongos in Esplanade Mall. Fire Club. Probably fit like 800 people.
I like that club.
That bitch fire.
Is it still open?
Nah, they got that bitch. But we did the event, packed that bitch out. 800 people, such and such. Fire marshal tried to set that bitch down. Made a killing. And we like, all right, fuck that. Like, this is a business. Like, we ain't never made this much money. At this time, like, we were just doing events. We probably making like $300-$400 a week. But like, at that time, when we made them now, we were like, all right, cool. And then that's why Stank is kind of a part of our story, because, you know, a lot of people have their judgment about Stank. Stank a good nigga at heart, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people got their stories about him, but he the one who had a situation in New Orleans, regardless of how his name was at the time. He had a situation in New Orleans. He got us from Kenner, from seeing us. We was doing events with 89 Ray. 89 Ray was my DJ. Like 89 Ray and RBD from the beginning. That was my DJ. Shout out to both of them. So boom, that's how Stank wound up seeing props. And then we been had our name. We had the clothes behind us at that time. And Stank came, grabbed us, was like, look, let's do an event in New Orleans. And that's kind of how we touched this market. And we did our event with me, Stank, and G Willie. My first event in New Orleans was me, Stank, and G Willie. We did Moneybag Yo and Iron. That was me and Mike's first event in New Orleans, period. At the Masquerades, right before Masquerade shut down. Bitch went crazy.
Right before COVID.
Ooh, that was right before COVID. That was right before COVID. But then we was understanding the game at that time. And that bitch COVID kind of shut us down. And like, everybody knew the story behind the pandemic, boy.
So, like, you know, about like, out of all the parties y'all did, who you think, well, which celebrity, actually was the biggest, for your eyes?
Celebrity-wise or event-wise, period?
We gonna go both.
All right. I'm going to say this. My biggest and most, like, the event I'm probably, like, I fuck with the most out of all these events. I did some shit. I did some shit. I did a lot of big artists. But we did our first Halloween party. And it was like a mansion party. And that bitch was going south quick. Like, we booked the wrong Airbnb. I ain't gonna say we. I booked the wrong Airbnb. All type of shit. So my sister wound up finding another one. We booked that bitch. that bitch, the house fucked up. Like the house ain't nothing like they looked at on Airbnb here. But so we going through the motions. There's all type of trials and tribulations. It's in a big ass backyard. We had to make that bitch what it was. If anybody didn't know, they could go back because that bitch probably had at least 1,000 people in that bitch, like coming and going. And I did that bitch in the east. So that's how you know this bitch was lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this bitch was crazy.
And it was a spooky Halloween for real, huh?
Yes, this bitch was crazy. Like, nigga had the big screen over the pool that was fucked up. We had the like all type of. It was crazy, bro. The aesthetics was crazy. Then we made sections in that bitch, and that's when I was like, yeah, this shit is for us, bro. So that's my biggest. That's the event I fuck with the most now. The one. Celebrity wise, it got to be the Money Bag You Irie because that's the one that kicked down the door on the cool.
Right. So after doing all these parties, but then y'all started partying up with I'm like promoters like G Willie and Larry.
Mm-hmm.
And so how did them relationships actually come about?
G man, like G was fucking with us from when we when we did the party with Stank and us at Masquerade. So we had that relationship with him. We was about to do Dream Doll right before the pandemic hit. So we was already about to start linking up well before we started linking up now with people. Say y'all gonna Rick with G a lot this year. A lot. So that's how that relationship came about and just grew like that. We was always students of the game of him and Herb, like we fuck with him, man. Mike, we all in the group match, been in the group match for a minute. We just get a lot of knowledge from him because like once we realized this was a business, it's like really when you write your business plan, like a part of your business plan is like competitive analysis. You know what I'm saying? Like what are your competitors doing? And all your competitors don't have to be like your ops or people that you're against. And that's kind of like the whole aura of this city, and that shit got to change when it comes to that. To be honest with you, but in the situation with Larry, man, Larry ran through. I don't know the story where Larry from really, but Larry went to school in Kenner for a minute, and that's how him and Mike, get close like that. And Mike is the co-owner of Prop, so like they kind of had a relationship before we came into this shit too. So it's like we kind of knew the people. It's like we was kind of was plugged in. These two people was plugged in, like kind of knew the people, like. He had his relationships. I had my relationships with people. He had his relationships with a certain people that could give us certain advice on certain shit. So it was like kind of, that's why I say we peas in the pod, like go hand in hand.
So how did y'all come up on with the Props Dolls?
The Props Dolls. Props Dolls came about right after that event. I told you that was our biggest event because we had it was in October, and we had 8 sections fucking sold or whatever in that backyard that I told you we set that bitch up in. So we had 8 sections sold, and we was the fucking bottle girls. You know what I'm saying? Me, my partners, Cole, Bobby, Ready, everybody. We, you know what I'm saying? Like Ready, like everybody was. We was partners, like we was the bottle girls. So fuck. We wound up letting that shit. Wound up letting it dwell for like. Probably a month. It was like, bro, like we go out in Houston and other places and we like bottle girls. Like we need bottle girls. And that's kind of how we started the Prop Stores. Like, right? And I'm talking about smack in the middle of the pandemic. We was in Jefferson Parish, so we had more like freedom than Orleans Parish did. So it was like we was in these clubs, at these clubs with these sections. We like, we need bottle girls. So that's how I invented Prop Stores. And we was like, fuck it, we going with it, and that's how Bottle Girls came about. And that shit ain't easy though, bro. Be honest with you, that shit ain't easy. None of that shit easy. None of it. People sit back and look at it like it's just a party going on. That shit don't be easy. So you know that though. But, yeah. you know that. But I just think like adding different levels to this shit make it a kind of a different. Make it harder, you know what I'm saying?
So I'm asking you a question, like, tell us what do you actually enjoy most about it, and what do you actually, hate about it?
I enjoy the people, to be honest. Like, I fuck with people, to be totally honest. I fuck with people I level up me, and you know, people fuck with me. I feel like they be fucking with me genuinely. People don't fuck with me. You know, I don't know why, cause I don't have not one reason, bro. So I'm humble. I accept all my flaws. I accept all my consequences will come with it, and it's like fuck it, like this is who I am. So I just fuck with the people, to be honest, and just to see like, you know, fuck nigga. I always seen this for myself, wanting to own my own and do my own shit, have my own business. So that's really what it is, bro. It's a business for me, and it's fun. But the shit that I hate about it, it's like the stress and the sacrifice and shit come with. But that's what all business is, bro. You have to have sacrifices. Sometimes I don't be eating at 5, 6 o'clock. Just in the evening, thinking, doing events, going to meetings, like doing a lot of the background shit that everybody don't know about. So fuck, putting together numbers, doing that, and like really and truly, like, you know, we have we have a lot of people that help us. Me and Mike do, but like far as that core work, that be us. But we have my brother Bobby, we have Junior, we have a lot of people that help us get where we at morning. We definitely did. But that core work, that shit that we supposed to really be focused on, that shit stressful, bro. So that sometimes, you know, stressful. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I hate about it the most. For sure.
Gotcha. So, all right, what's your advice to someone that's trying to follow like your footsteps?
Man, stay yourself. Like, don't crack, because I've seen a lot of, and I've heard and I've seen a lot of people like come in this business, try to do something in it. The route a lot of people take and falling under certain umbrellas. Just stay in your own lane, do your own thing, have your own motion, and like just do your own shit, bro. Run your business. That's big advice. I actually want to write a 10-page book, a short book about that. I'm gonna do that this year. Come think about it.
Gotcha. So
do that.
Tell us. I'm like, what's next for you?
What's next for props? I'm gonna say the difference from what you seen from what you about to see now. It's about to be a lot of foot on necks right now, brother. And I gotta say that because we humble and we just about to it's that time, bro. It's our 4th year. We about to do a multitude of like concerts, more concerts than events, and we about to just create different elements, bro. That what I told, bro. That's one thing that I want to do. Just like we go create different shit this year, like just different shit. Like that's what we doing. So that's gonna be new with us for sure.
Gotcha. But actually, I'm like, before we leave, I gotta ask you this. You know, like, do you feel like y'all had to prove a, like, do you feel like y'all had to prove one on like point, being from Kendall, like coming to New Orleans and like making people actually, I'm like, respect props?
Hell yeah. And it's not even done though, gang. Like it's not even done. It's not done because, for the simple fact, it's a lot to be done on our side, you know what I'm saying? You know that, and that's coming from the humble and modest side. But at the same time, what really drive me and what really get a nigga going is what make me. I be like, what we ain't show y'all yet, like, and that make a nigga more hungry for sure. So then it be the simple fact that people feel like Kenny is country. That stereotype kind of drop, bro.
Well, we're gonna put it out like this. Like,
y'all gotta drop that shit.
Yeah, but I think people from New Orleans just think everything outside of the realm of all these parishes, well, not even all these parishes, in New Orleans, like side to side, they think Algiers all the way to Kennedy is country.
But that shit ain't true. Like, that ain't true at all, bro. Cause look, a lot of people feel like I'm from New Orleans. It ain't no, I don't care what you think, but that goes to show you, like, they got niggas that you feel like from New Orleans that's from Kenner. Ain't no difference. There's no difference. Maybe cause I was out here all the time, but no, cause they got niggas that stayed in Kenner, they still act like I act. So ain't no difference, bro. Ain't no difference. That's the real type. But to say this, to sum this up, bro, being from Kenner made it harder, and it's making it harder. But that's adversity, bro. And we just look at it as like, all right, cool. Like we go keep pushing. Like we go keep showing y'all, just keep proving, and just do it in the most humble and modest way.
But I'm gonna say this before I actually laugh because it's funny because I remember going to a few of y'all parties. I be like, who doing the party? Them niggas from Kenner. They don't even say props. Them niggas from Kenner.
But I don't even see. I like to hear that shit because I ain't never heard nobody say that shit. But I like that shit.
So it's
like,
your party, you inside. I'm
fucking
walking up like, who doing the party tonight? Niggas from Kenner.
The nigga from Kenner, you hear me?
Like, if they say props, I'm like, oh, you talking about Terio? They're like, no, the niggas from Kenner.
The nigga from Kenner, so we the only niggas that's doing that shit from Kenner. But that shit crazy, bro. Like, that shit crazy, so. Niggas say them niggas from Kenner. I like that shit.
And last but not least, tell everybody, I'm like, what can they find you on social media and just everywhere?
On social media, Terio _27. TERIO _27 on all platforms. I don't do no rapping, but I'm on all platforms for sure. Look for a lot of concerts this year.
Man, you gotta put the music out next.
We gotta put the music next.
What's your story?